Liverpool City Council billed it as a chance to thank the Hillsborough campaigners and a chance, of course, to remember the 96 for whom they campaigned. But events are moving fast here, so a chance for people to respond today to the news that the South Yorkshire Police Chief Constable has been suspended over the force's handling of the continuing Hillsborough saga.
Let's hope that's the first of many. All of them, right through since Downing Street, the ones who told lies in there. They're all involved. The establishment's involved. Otherwise they wouldn't have done it in the first place. They knew they had cover.
Yeah, it's been suspended, yeah. Well, that's one step nearer, so let's hope for the rest now. They can't hide, can they?
I'm hardly going to shed any tears, you know what I mean? I think people need to pay. And what is justice? I want these people held responsible to suffer, I'll be honest with you. Because we've had to suffer 27 years and it's been hard. My girl will tell you, I've suffered for 27 years of guilt. And it hurts. And I'll be honest with you. I don't care what happens to them because it's not going to bring the 96 back and it's not going to give me nights when I can sleep at night without... Sorry, I can't say anymore, I'm sorry.
This afternoon, David Crompton, South Yorkshire Chief Constable since 2012, was suspended because of what was described as an erosion of public confidence in the force displayed today in the House of Commons.
For 27 years, the families and survivors of Hillsborough have fought for justice. They have faced hostility, opposition and obfuscation. And the authorities that should have been trusted have laid blame and tried to protect themselves instead of acting in the public interest.
Yesterday was about emotion, today recrimination. Even after their public apologies for their actions on the day, South Yorkshire Police and ambulance services are accused of defending lies ever since.
Mr. Speaker,
the Shadow Home Secretary said the Chief Constable should go.
Shamefully, the cover-up continued in this Warrington courtroom. Millions of pounds of public money were spent retelling discredited lies against Liverpool supporters. Lawyers for retired officers threw disgusting slurs around. Those for today's force tried to establish that others were responsible for the opening of the gate. If the police had chosen to maintain its apology, this inquest would have been much shorter. But they didn't, and they put the families through hell once again. It pains me to say it, but the NHS, through the Yorkshire Ambulance Service, was guilty of the same.
Both the ambulance and police in South Yorkshire refusing to be interviewed. The police did, though, issue the following statement.
We have never sought at any stage to defend the failures of SYP or its officers. Nevertheless, these failures had to be put into the context of other contributory factors. In other words, where do the failings of SYP stand in the overall picture? We are sorry if our approach has been perceived as at odds with our earlier apology. This was certainly not our intention.
A memorable image from the day, the first ambulance onto the pitch. In it, a paramedic who maintains that from that day to this, to the inquests, 27 years later, South Yorkshire Ambulance Management deliberately defended lies to protect themselves and blame the fans.
Well, what I saw was an unnecessary adversarial process during the inquest when they had an opportunity not to do that. They chose to do that. So we do need to step back and think about when there is a major incident, how do we deal with that? And stop worrying about blame, but think about the process of why that happened and how we dealt with it. And if there are errors, holding the hands up and saying, well, we'll learn by those errors.
Learning by past errors on Hillsborough, still a problem for the Murdoch press, the Sun failing to mention Hillsborough until a small apology on the inside pages. The Times ignored Hillsborough on first edition front pages, then changed its mind. The paper later said, we made a mistake. Right now, in Liverpool city centre, tens of thousands of people have rather bigger mistakes on their minds. Mistakes and possible crimes that led to the death of 96 people at a football match. After 27 years, Liverpool has the truth about Hillsborough. Justice for Hillsborough and the 96, however, has yet to run its course.
Well, as you come back to me, this song obviously needs no introduction. Let's listen to some of it. Well, of course, that could not mean more to the families of the Hillsborough 96. They have stuck together, and that has brought them to this moment now, to the findings of the inquest.